Welcome to day 469 of our DeSo journey. I'm Ed Krasenstein, here with my twin brother Brian. And remember, these videos are being sponsored by NFT Tech. They are an investor in DeSoFi. So Brian, there's quite a bit of crypto news outside of the DeSo space yesterday. Do you want to get started talking about some of that?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, Twitter shares are down quite a bit this morning after reports that indicate the buyout by Elon Musk might be actually in jeopardy. And Elon, he's apparently not satisfied still with what data Twitter turned over to him regarding bots and spam accounts. So we don't know if this is actually going to go through. It's really a long drug out process, and ultimately, I think it's kind of up in the air whether Elon is actually going to buy Twitter or not.
Yeah, I think he's just, trying to get a better deal. I think he's messing with the numbers, acting like he's disappointed so that Twitter will come down with their price after the market has fallen significantly since he made that offer. So, is it really worth that as much as he's offered to pay? I think he's just playing a game here, trying to get the price lowered. But I guess we had to wait and see.
Yeah, I totally agree there. Also, the founder of KeyFi, Jason Stone, has sued crypto lender Celsius. Celsius, as we talked about before, they froze withdrawals a few weeks ago, kind of created an uproar. But the lawsuit by Stone alleges that the company was a Ponzi scheme and that they maintained the price of their own digital token through manipulation. And Stone basically he managed funds that Celsius was holding. So he had like a handshake agreement where Celsius would give him a bunch of funds to manage and earn off of, and then they would split in some fashion what he could earn off of those funds. And the lawsuit claims that, quote, Celsius failed to implement basic risk management strategies to protect against risk of price fluctuations that were inherent in many of the deployed investment strategies. Stone also alleges that the founder of Celsius actually transferred assets and NFTs from the company account to his wife's wallet,
Yeah.
which is interesting. And at the time that this agreement between KeyFi and Celsius broke up, Stone said that Celsius actually had $100 to $200 million hole in their balance sheet. There's more bricks to drop on this one. I think we're going to hear more about what's going on. I think one good thing, and I don't really say good with like a smile on my face, but one thing that comes from these crypto winters is that scammy companies, and I'm not saying Celsius was a scam, this is just allegations, scammy companies implode. And with them, they usually bring other scammy companies as well. So it kind of clears the air and it kind of sets this floor for the market to expand off of in a more honest fashion.
Yeah, I don't think it's only scammy companies that implode, but also companies that just aren't run well, companies that are
Poorly
over
run. Yeah.
leveraged, or companies who have, taken action which are super risky, and cryptos which are already super risky. So I think it, like you said, I think it's a positive in that it, the strongest companies are left standing, and those are the companies that are going to move us forward. And these other companies set a precedent for what not to do if you want to be successful. So
Yeah,
I think
and
we're going to
it's
learn a lot.
obvious. Obviously, it's not good for the people that might have lost money in these companies, the
Yeah,
innocent
definitely
people.
not.
So keep that in mind too.
Yeah, I mean, it's a negative overall because so many people have lost money. Hopefully, we're at a bottom, and hopefully, start seeing things come up. Who knows, though? So, in DeSo news, Invest in Digital. Yesterday we talked about Invest in Digital's marketing plan that he posted a Google document about, and it was mostly focused on developers and bringing developers to DeSo and encouraging developers to develop on DeSo. And we briefly mentioned that we think more needs to be done to bring just general users onto the platform, increase daily active users. And Invest in Digital replied to our video yesterday saying that, where we said that we think daily active users need to be more of a priority. He said that he's working on getting creators and creator communities over to DeSo. So that isn't the only marketing that they're doing. That was more geared to the developer community, and it was more of an overall marketing plan. He said that they're working to get creators and communities over to DeSo. I think that's big. Bringing whole communities over to the platform is the way to go, in my opinion. He said he did a webinar with Social Tree Global, and they said they're working on something for DeSo. What that is, we don't know. I don't even know if he knows. And he also said he's in contact with a Twitter user, Hey Bernie. And Hey Bernie is actually the co-founder of the Vinci DAO, which is a learning community for Web3 community professionals. And he has 28,800 followers on Twitter. So he has a large following of Web3 DAO type people. Bernie has teased, according to Invest in Digital, launching a DAO, and he said he's working on something for DeSo as well. So Invest in Digital said he may want to port his current DAO, the one I mentioned earlier, the Vinci DAO, over to DAO, over to DeSo. But he said that's just speculation at this point. They don't really know for sure. So there are some things being done to kind of bring some communities onto DeSo. I think that's what we need. Like if they could port one big DAO or get one of these projects that are thinking about launching a huge DAO to do it on DAO, I think that has potential to bring a lot of people onto DeSo, because those people have been following the project and are ready to engage with the DAO on DAO.
Yeah, and Erica, of course, is part of the team that's doing partnerships with DAO. So I'm guessing she's going to be reaching out to a lot of companies as well. I think they should have somebody in charge of partnerships for DeSo as well, not just DAO.
Yeah.
DAO can be definitely great at bringing people to DeSo, but I think we need somebody reaching out to communities, reaching out to maybe NFT artists, reaching out to just creators to get them on DeSo, and maybe even giving them some sort of reward for coming here, away from everything else they can earn, just to get them here. And stuff like that can really bring large communities. If you have somebody with a strong following coming here and doing a lot on DeSo, that can really help.
Yeah, I agree 100%. So in other news, NFTZ, that's our NFT node, we are soon going to release the ability to upload your images and your NFTs, I mean the images tied to those NFTs, to IPFS. And we think this is going to be huge, especially as we start integrating other chains. IPFS is actually I'd say the default solution that OpenSea's been using and big Ethereum collections are starting to use in order to decentralize the storage of their images. A lot of people use Arweave on DeSo, but on other chains, Arweave's not really used. It's mostly IPFS. So we're integrating IPFS. You're going to simply be able to click a box, upload to IPFS. So your image, when you mint an NFT on NFTZ, will automatically be stored on IPFS. We do have plans to integrate Arweave as well, but we feel that IPFS has a bigger potential in that it's what the native NFT community is used to using, whereas Arweave's a little bit alien to them. We like giving options. We want to give people the option to store it however they want, and IPFS is going to be one of those main options. For those who don't know, IPFS uses something called DHT, a distributed hash table. So it's not exactly the same as storing on the Arweave blockchain or storing on another blockchain, but it is a decentralized solution. Nothing's foolproof, nothing's perfect, but we feel that because this is the de facto image storage platform being used by the OpenSeas and the large Ethereum communities out there, this is the way to go if we want to bring Ethereum communities onto the DeSo blockchain.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, IPFS stands for Interplanetary File System. So I think this is a great addition for NFTZ. It gives the option to really store that file on a blockchain, and stuff like this is what's going to move the NFT space forward. Just the start of what we're working on with NFTZ. We have lots of really cool things coming here in the next several weeks and months ahead.
Yeah, and also I want to say the only reason we haven't released it yet, it's completely ready. We expect it to be released in the next couple of days, is because we're waiting for Zordon from Diamond App to activate it on Diamond App, so that if you mint an NFT on NFTZ using IPFS, that image will still show on Diamond App as well. Also, Rabal from DeSoFi is going to be doing the same thing, and we hope all the nodes do it so that IPFS images will show on your nodes. So we're super excited about this. M. Van Halen has been working super heavily on this, been getting Zordon and Rabal and some of the other nodes together to, collaborate on this so that it works for all nodes, like just like Arweave works for all nodes.
Yep.
So moving on, DeSocial World yesterday, they posted their post to earn winners. Of course, that's sponsored by Seals. They give away $50 to the most active DeSo users on their DeSocial World app, the ones who receive the most, I guess I shouldn't say most active. It's to those who receive the most engagement with their posts, whether it be likes, diamonds, comments, etc., repost. And we came in number one again. We actually suggested to Ado of DeSocial World that they should, instead of giving it per point, giving the money per point, they should be doing it per ranking. So maybe the first place person should win the most, but not based on how many points they earn. But I think our account's been earning a lot of points, and we feel it's kind of unfair, and it kind of disincentivizes people from partaking.
Yeah, I mean, we love the DeSo, but we don't want to hog the DeSo. And I think there's plenty of DeSo to go around. It's just there could be a way that does it in a way that.
Well, and Ado has a way. He said he's basically going to give, like, number one will get $10, number two will get $9, so on and so forth. But those top post to earn winners were us, followed by Yuchi, Clout Women Unite. Love seeing Clout Women Unite up there. Web3 Peeps, The Devil, Stargazer, Sandy Rose, Vampire Campfire, and those are the winners. Congratulations. Thanks again to Seals, who donates $50 to sponsor this contest every single week. You're amazing, and thanks again.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see this on other nodes. I think we'll see other nodes gradually do this, and then you kind of have nodes competing with each other to get the engagement on their node. And when they do this, the price of the post to earn reward should rise, benefiting the community as a whole.
Yeah, exactly. And Lazy Nina is getting married. She's getting married. Congratulations.
Wait, let me pull this out. I haven't had this out.
Congratulations. It's Aditya actually broke the news yesterday, and then Lazy Nina confirmed it. She said she's going to be gone for a bit, celebrating her marriage. I'm sure she's probably going on a honeymoon. Congratulations. Don't worry, she will be back.
I wonder if she's going into the metaverse for her honeymoon. I could imagine that.
I could see that. So Lix yesterday, they had, of course, Lix is created. We've been saying it's by Clay Oglesby, and Clay Oglesby is one of the major proponents behind it, but also Nathan Wells and CFKY are his two other co-founders of Lix. And Lix, of course, is the NFT staking platform that's being built on DeSo. They launched their DAO yesterday, and I think their funding was super, super successful. They've already raised $6,245 out of their $10,000 goal, and that's in one day. They have 70 holders, hodlers, holders, whatever you want to call them. Congratulations. I mean, this went better than I expected, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think this kind of says a lot. So DeSo, we have maybe 1,500 daily active users. When you're seeking to raise $500,000, it's not going to happen. Most likely, it's not going to happen
at this point,
unless you're able to bring people in from outside of DeSo on a massive level. But if you're seeking to raise $5,000 or $10,000, like Lix is doing, it's very possible because you have enough users to generate interest to raise that goal. But I think people are aiming too high right now because DAO is such in an infant state, and the number of daily active users in DeSo is so low. So I think Lix had a good model. They didn't seek to raise too much money, just enough to kind of get by and to generate interest. And that's what happened, I think.
Yeah, and I think Clay Oglesby was really smart, or I guess I should say Clay, Nathan, and CFKY were really smart in the way they went about doing this. They hyped it up. Then they set their goal pretty low compared to other DAOs at only $10,000. So they're going to raise, I'm guessing they're going to raise the $10,000. I think that's going to happen. And then they'll have that money to start building the app, building it up, and then they'll have a product. And when they release that product, coinciding with the release of that product, they can launch another round for maybe $10,000 or $20,000 and probably be successful at that as well. So I think this is a great example of how you do it, how you launch a DAO and DAO, at least in times when, you know, the community is not that big yet. I think Clay Oglesby and Nathan and CFKY were super smart in what they did.
Agreed, 100%.
So there's some good news for Supernovas. I guess it was yesterday we talked about Supernovas and how they've run out of funding and how it's been unfortunate to see this take place. But they actually had a meeting yesterday. Unfortunately, Brian and I couldn't make it. We really wanted to. But according to Gabby, they said that they are currently reorganizing, cutting costs, and updating their roadmap. DAO members will be assisting them. You know, this might end up being a super successful project that's run by a DAO now. You know, like now the DAO's kind of taking over and running the project themselves. And this is going to show, you know, is DAO really a great tool to allow companies to be formed? Because now the DAO is kind of taking over, and I think we're going to see some exciting stuff. I think we're going to probably see some developers from the DeSo community jump on board and help out with developing. I can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah, and if they open source things, I think that just adds extra benefit to the community. I think we'll see a lot of more innovation built upon Supernovas. And ultimately, we obviously want to see Supernovas succeed. We're doing an NFT project ourselves, NFTZ, and we want people to come to DeSo for NFTs. That's what's going to be our bread and butter. So as Supernova takes off, that's going to help us as well. So I think we're all in this together. We're all teammates. And I hope that we see this DAO really drive things forward for Supernovas.
Yes, so far it's looking positive. It's definitely a much more positive view than I think the community's had on what's been taking place with Supernovas yesterday. I think there's a lot more positivity right now, and I think it's going in a good direction.
Yeah, and you combine this DAO with the Lix DAO, and I think there's some excitement around DAOs, and that's
NFTs,
great for
Lix
DeSo as
and
well.
Supernovas are both related to NFTs. And speaking of NFTs, who were the top 10 people with the most NFT bids over the last 24 hours, Brian?
Yeah, so Meta Philosopher was first.
Back up top.
Up there again is number one. That's impressive. Followed by Tobias Schmid, Spunk Art, DeSo Mask, Demasty, Hindsight Profit, Block 21, ZN Mead, Studio Richards, and Furkan. And I just want to quickly jump to the top Diamond Day creators over the last 24 hours, thanks to Altumbase for providing this list. We were number one, followed by The Devil, DeSocial World, Quanti, Spunk Art. Spunk Art's up in both lists. Congrats. Lazy Nina, who's we talked about before, getting married. Michelle Lord, Lix, and their DAO. Clay Oglesby and Zian Mead, who made both lists as well.
Congratulations. You know, the more the better. So congratulations, and we'll talk to everyone tomorrow. That's all the news we have for today. Have a great rest of your day, people, and see you soon.